Welcome to a story forged in the fires of conflict and reconciliation, a tale that stands at the very heart of Norse mythology, the war between the Aesir and the Vanir. This legendary civil war among the gods was not merely a clash of strength, but a profound encounter between two worlds, two philosophies, and two destinies. It was a war that would ultimately bind together the divine pantheon of the 9 realms, shaping the very nature of the gods themselves. To understand the roots of this monumental conflict, we must first journey to the realms that gave rise to these two great houses of gods. The Aesir, ancient and mighty, made their home in Asgard. From their celestial fortress, they presided over war, order, and wisdom. Odin, the Allfather, stood at their helm, wielding both unmatched cunning and the legendary spear Gungnir. Alongside him, the thunder god Thor, protector of gods and men, swung the mighty hammer Mjolnir, while Balder, god of light and purity, and Frigg, goddess of marriage and prophecy, brought illumination and insight to their kin. The Aesir embodied the ideals of courage, discipline, and the unyielding enforcement of law. They were the architects of order in a cosmos threatened by chaos. Their society revered the valor of warriors, the sanctity of oaths, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, even when that knowledge demanded great personal sacrifice. Across the cosmic divide, in the verdant and mystical realm of Vanaheim, dwelled the Vanir. This race of gods was no less ancient, but their values diverged sharply from those of the Aesir. The Vanir revered the cycles of nature and the mysteries of fertility. Their powers nourished the earth, brought forth bountiful harvests, and blessed the waters that sustained life. Foremost among them were Njordr, the god of the sea and prosperity, his son Freyr, lord of fertility and peace, and his daughter Freyja, goddess of love, beauty, and also war. The Vanir were masters of Seidr, a form of magic that could manipulate fate and reveal the secrets of the future. Where the Aesir prized the order of the battlefield, the Vanir cherished the rhythms of the earth and the wisdom born from living in harmony with nature. They were the keepers of wealth, trade, and the subtle arts of negotiation. In these two divine families, we see the reflection of the ancient Norse world, the relentless drive for conquest and glory, and the nurturing spirit that brings life and plenty. For a time, these two ways of life coexisted in their separate realms, each flourishing in its own right. But destiny would soon bring them into fateful contact. The spark that ignited the war came not from great armies or ambitious kings, but from a single visitor, Gullveig, a Vanir goddess whose very name means gold drunk. Gullveig came to Asgard as a messenger and teacher. She brought with her the arts of Seidr and spoke openly of the value of wealth, the power of magic, and the importance of prosperity. Her words, however, fell upon ears unprepared for her message. The Aesir, fierce champions of honor and martial glory, recoiled at the Vanir's open embrace of material wealth. To them, Gullveig's teachings seemed to glorify greed and subvert the stoic virtues they held dear. Even more troubling was her mastery of Seidr, a form of magic often associated with women, and viewed by the Aesir as both dangerous and unworthy of a true warrior. Suspicion and hostility grew with each passing day. The Aesir saw Gullveig's magic as a threat to the order they had painstakingly built, and her message as a corrupting influence that could undermine their authority. In a fit of rage and fear, they took the unthinkable step. Gullveig was seized, pierced by spears, and thrown into the flames. Yet Gullveig would not die. 3 times she was burned, and 3 times she rose again, her power undiminished. Each resurrection only deepened the insult, for it showed that even the might of the Aesir could not extinguish the Vanir spirit. Word of this outrage soon reached Vanaheim, and the Vanir were incensed. The violation of hospitality and the brutal treatment of one of their own demanded retribution. War was now inevitable. The Vanir, skilled in the arts of magic and subtlety, prepared to answer the Aesir's challenge not only with force, but with strategy and cunning. They unleashed the full might of Seidr, sowing confusion and fear among the Aesir. Their spells twisted fate, blurred the lines between friend and foe, and disrupted the careful order of Asgard. Meanwhile, the Aesir responded with the unyielding strength of their armies. Odin, wise and ever resourceful, led the charge, his spear, Gungnir, never missing its mark. The Einherjar, fallen warriors chosen from the mortal world, marched under his banner, eager for glory in battle. Thor's hammer Mjolnir thundered across the battlefield, shattering enemy lines and striking terror into the hearts of foes. The initial clashes were fierce and brutal. The Vanir, though less numerous, used their magic to great effect, turning the tide of battle at critical moments. They targeted supply lines, disrupted communications, and struck at the heart of Asgard's prosperity. The Aesir, for their part, relied on discipline, raw strength, and the indomitable will of their greatest champions. As months turned to years, the war dragged on, neither side gaining a decisive advantage. The land itself suffered, fields were trampled, rivers ran red, and the cries of battle echoed through the realms. The gods, once immortal and untouchable, now learned the bitter taste of vulnerability and loss. During this long stalemate, new heroes emerged. Thor's might was matched by Freyr's magical sword, a weapon that fought on its own. Tyr, the god of war, devised cunning strategies to outmaneuver the Vanir, while Freya, with her command of the Valkyries, inspired her followers with visions of victory and honor. Njordr, lord of the sea, wielded his power to blockade Asgard, cutting off vital supplies and forcing the Aesir to confront the reality of their dependence on trade. Frigg, Odin's queen, used her prophetic gifts to shield her people from disaster. But even her foresight could not break the deadlock. As the war raged, both sides began to see the futility of endless conflict. The gods, immortal though they were, could sense the toll it was taking, not only on themselves, but on the fabric of the world. Their divisions left the realms vulnerable to the giants, ever watchful and eager to exploit any weakness. At last, wisdom prevailed. The leaders of both houses came together to seek peace, recognizing that their mutual destruction could only bring ruin to all. Odin and Njordr, once bitter enemies, met as equals and pledged to forge a new path for the gods. The peace that followed was unprecedented. As a gesture of trust, both sides agreed to an exchange of hostages. Njordr, along with his son Freyr, traveled to Asgard to live among the Aesir. In return, Hoenir, Odin's brother, and the wise Mimir went to Vanaheim. This exchange ensured that neither side could betray the other without risking the lives of their own. Power was now to be shared. The Vanir were recognized as equals among the gods, their wisdom and magical arts celebrated rather than feared. Freyr, the god of fertility, became one of the most beloved deities in Asgard, his blessings sought by farmers and kings alike. Freya, too, found a place of honor, sharing with Odin the souls of fallen warriors. The gods sealed their pact with a sacred ritual. Each spat into a great cauldron, and from this mixture was born Kvasir, the wisest being to ever exist. Kvasir's knowledge became a symbol of the unity between the two houses, a living testament to the power of reconciliation. The aftermath of the war brought profound change. The pantheon of Norse gods was forever altered, its ranks now filled with deities who blended the strengths of both Aesir and Vanir. Freyr's role as a fertility god expanded, and he was revered not only for his bounty, but also for his ability to bring peace. Freya, goddess of both love and war, became a bridge between worlds, her influence felt in every aspect of life and death. Njordr's command of the seas ensured the prosperity of traders and fishermen, his blessings essential for those who traveled beyond the safety of the land. Perhaps most significantly, Odin himself was transformed. Through his alliance with the Vanir, he learned the secrets of Seidr from Freyja, gaining powers of prophecy and fate that would define his later actions. This new mastery made him a more enigmatic and formidable god, one whose understanding of destiny would shape the fate of gods and men alike. The war's resolution echoed far beyond the halls of Asgard and Vanaheim. It represented the merging of two worldviews, the martial discipline of the Aesir and the nurturing wisdom of the Vanir. Together, they created a balanced order, one that could endure the challenges of the cosmos. Some scholars see in this myth a reflection of real historical changes, the merging of warrior and agricultural societies, the blending of old and new religions, and the acceptance of different forms of magic and knowledge. The war between the Aesir and the Vanir stands as a metaphor for the difficult but ultimately fruitful process of unification. The gods, once divided by suspicion and pride, learned that their greatest strength lay not in domination, but in understanding and cooperation. Their alliance brought forth new forms of magic, new ways of seeing the world, and a renewed commitment to the protection of the 9 realms. Through this story, we see that even gods must confront their own limitations and prejudices. The wounds of war may never fully heal, but from the ashes of conflict can arise a new, stronger order, one that honors the best of all its parts. The legacy of the Aesir-Vanir War endures in every tale of Norse mythology. It is there in the wisdom of Kvasir, in the blessings of Freyr, and in the mysterious power of Odin. It is a reminder that unity often comes at a great price, but that the rewards of reconciliation can be immense. Thank you for joining this journey into the heart of Norse legend. The story of the Aesir and the Vanir is a testament to the enduring power of myth to teach, to inspire, and to unite. May it encourage us all to seek harmony amidst difference and to find strength in the coming together of diverse worlds.